Okay, we're going to go through final assembly on a Turbo 400. We've already gone through and prepped the case. We're going to build the planetary gear set, put it in the case. We've already got our forward and direct drums rebuilt. We've already got our pump prepped. And we've already got our valve body ready to go. So all we have to do is do final assembly, and we'll be ready to put it in the car. So what we've done for the case already, for the sake of time, gone ahead and I've gone ahead and put in my park linkage. Got my kick down plug in there, made sure that's all good and kosher. Obviously I cleaned everything, went ahead and put my modulator valve in, went ahead and put my cooler line fittings in. We're turning the case. We've also gone ahead, we put in our low one holding band, made sure that's centered in the case. We've got our rear thrust washer in there, and we have our rear bearing in the case. We've checked that, and that's all kosher. And then we've also, on this model, we have a little bit thinner center support, so we've got our 40 thousandths fretting ring that's going to go beneath the center support, which if you got an older one, that's always a good idea to update it to a newer style. Depends on your application, really. I mean, a lot of people are using these for hot rodding anymore. You're not going to put 100,000 miles on this transmission, so the fretting ring becomes kind of a moot point in my book, but they still do it that way on the 4L80s. How in the hell did I end up with a fly in here in October? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to got our rear reaction carrier, planetary carrier. We're going to go ahead and put on our rear shaft with a Torrington bearing. There's 3 Torrington bearings in the output planetary gear set. They're all different. They only go in one way. This one is the flat one without an inner ridge. The one on the back side has a ridge that sticks out but nothing on the outside, and I'll show you the other one later. But basically glue it in pretty good with some Preance gel. She's in. We take our output shaft here. We've already got our thrust washer that's going to mate against our 3-tang adjustable thrust washer in the back. Put that in. I'm going to go ahead and put in our retaining clip. This one's a flat clip. I like using these. They work a lot easier than the double clips, but make sure it's seated. Now we're going to invert the gear set. Look in there, make sure, yep, the bearing's still cemented in there with the gel. We've got our sun gear. One side is flat, the other side has a taper. Taper goes down like this, flat side up. Now there's normally a plastic thrust washer in here when you tear it apart. I'm going to go ahead and replace it with a metal washer. It's the same as the washer that's on the output shaft. They interchange. I'm going to go ahead and put my silencer ring on. At this point, we're going to leave that. Now we're going to go back to our center support. As you can see, I've already got the intermediate piston installed. I've got my sealing rings the way I want them. Now we're going to go ahead and put this Torrington bearing in. And this one is a double lipped bearing. There's a tall lip and a short lip. And this one has a little more needles in it than the older styles. We got that down in there. We're going to go ahead and put in our thrust washer for the forward planetary. Here's our forward planetary. This is the one where that low one band's going to ride on. We're going to kind of grab it with your fingers so that sprag doesn't come out. And you're going to kind of gingerly set it on and twist counterclockwise to the face. Goes on like that. Now we're going to go ahead and set this on the planetary. Uh-oh, got my gloves. Going good. Last part is that tube. This is going to be a little stubborn to get in place. Oh, nope, went right in. It's got new bearings on it. You can see everything's rotating really nicely.